You started as an affiliate and then you enter into funnel building. So
Yeah.
what is the one thing that inspire you?
The amount of effort you're putting in to get one sale, like if you put in the same effort into closing a funnel design client or some kind of funnel building gig, it will be paying you 5 times more the amount of money
You have a $7 product that brought in 2.4 millions of sales in 9 months. So can you
yeah.
please drop some more lights on it? Like what this thing? I'm really curious to know about it.
Instead of just charging like $2,000 and making him $76,000, why don't I charge $7,000 and make him $76,000?
Hi guys, welcome to the Entrepreneurs Warrior Show. This is where we interview entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants who are expert in their niche. And in this amazing series of interviews, today we have super awesome guest with us. He is a founder of Marketing Hatch. He is an agency owner. Hatch is an agency whose main purpose to empower coaches, consultant with predictable client acquisition system. He is helping entrepreneurs to get clients on demand with his P3 method, and he helped coaches, course creator to launch their offer that right away that brings revenue on the day one. So that is something completely insane. So without further ado, let's have Sashanka-Dutta on the show. Hi Shashank.
What's up, man? Pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
It's my
it's my
first time doing an
pleasure.
interview after a while. I haven't done any of these in such a long time. So,
Okay, yeah. So that means we are really awesome. Sashank, could you share us a little bit about yourself, your backstory? Like, so there's a few people who have no idea, so they also get to know, understand like about your journey and your how you started.
yeah, so I started in 2018, right out of 12th standard. Didn't go to college, so took a drop year. And then just wanted to make some money because, we were poor. So after that, just kind of went on a journey, searching course after course. And, just finally decided to do affiliate marketing. Did affiliate marketing for quite some time. After that, I realized, if you build funnels, because at that point, like everybody was, into funnel design, there was like a wave where people were just curious and also paying a lot of money when you were able to design good funnels and all. So that's the point when I decided to switch and just wanted to become a funnel designer. That was the main objective. And yeah, man, that's where everything kind of started in 2019. And here we are after 3 years, I guess. And yeah, so the agency side did pretty well. In those past few years, we got a couple of $1 million in results and all. And yeah, that's the main focus, pretty much kind of building funnels, the overall system, and also the strategy behind, launching a course. It can be getting more leads for your agency service, can be getting more leads for your, coaching services, any of that. So that's what we do in a nutshell.
That's awesome. That's completely awesome. You mentioned you started as an affiliate and then you enter into funnel building. So
Yeah.
what is the one thing that inspire you? Like, yeah, money is always be there, but is there any other specific thing that inspire you to become funnel builder or to design funnels and all?
I mean, that was more stable, to be honest, because affiliate marketing, I was promoting one funnel away challenge, and there are quite some other affiliate products. It wasn't consistent, okay, and it wasn't even high ticket. So the amount of effort you're putting in to get one sale, like if you put in the same effort into closing a funnel design client or some kind of funnel building gig, it will be paying you 5 times more the amount of money that you'd have made from affiliate marketing or whatever. So that was one of the main reason, I would say. And the other one was from the skill perspective, because I've always been someone who wanted to master something. So if I saw that this is something which I can work on, this is something which I can master, I mean, I just want to go all in, because that was the spirit back in the day. So yeah.
That's completely awesome. That's the keen to learn something new and don't want to stick at the same position. Like many times people are stick with just one thing and they don't go ahead with their life, with their journey, and that's where they stuck in their journey, right? That's completely
Yeah.
making sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, things kind of become monotonous at a certain point. You feel like
yes,
you're doing the same things and all, but then the growth is not massive. So you just gotta choose like which way you want to move forward. And yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was the
true.
big idea, I would say.
That is true. That's true. So, according to, yeah, you are saying something.
No, that's it. Like that's my
Okay,
perspective on it.
okay, got it. So, according to this particular thumbnail of the today's topic, so
Hmm.
you mentioned like you have a $7 product that brought in 2.4 millions of sales in 9 months. So, can you
Yeah.
please drop some more lights on it? Like what this thing? I'm really curious to know about it.
So it wasn't my product exactly. It was one of my clients, and we did a partnership deal in 2020. So that's when everything was kind of new, and yeah, man, I just kind of quoted him X amount of dollars and took like a certain percentage of the sale. That's why I kind of mentioned that it's kind of like my product and also his product. And it was a low ticket offer. So basically, we were selling a master class instead of calling it as a webinar, because at that point, like everybody was doing webinar, everybody was kind of into, you know, like long form videos. Okay. And nobody was actually paying attention because the market was getting saturated. Like, when you see that everybody is doing webinar and you know that every webinar kind of follows the same pattern where it's like giving value, and after a certain point you just go to the pitch and you try to close them on the call. And when like everybody was kind of just getting used to it, that's the point when people stop paying attention to it. So back in the day when leads were like way cheaper, we used to get leads for webinars in 2019 for like $2-3, and at the same time the closing ratio was like we'd be getting a sale for every $50 or $60 spent on ads. But then when in 2020 came, when everybody was kind of becoming like Ty Lopez, every big player was getting into the industry, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, they were also kind of just starting their coaching online. Like they kind of bought most of their programs online. That's when the webinar market was kind of like really down. The leads were like super expensive and all. So we just had to find a way to present it as something different. So, instead of doing like 1 hour webinar, we did like a 2 hour masterclass, which was like the webinar is one side of it, where, the value part, which usually in a webinar is like 10-20 minutes, we kind of stretch it to, 1 hour 20 minutes or 1 hour 30 minutes. Okay. 90 minutes of value and all of it. And then at the end, there was like a pitch. Okay. So the basic idea was like an opt in, ask them to buy the $7 product because it was like a masterclass, kind of presented as a masterclass. And then once someone bought the masterclass, we just upsold them on agency templates because that product was in the agency space. And then kind of just once we upsold them, then we just had a bunch of upsells and downsells, all of it. But yeah, the main idea was just get some break even costs from that particular funnel. And at the back end, we just wanted to sell a $7,000 coaching program. That was like the main idea of it, because the ones who actually bought the masterclass, the ones who actually bought the agency templates, and the ones who actually scheduled their call, which was added as a bonus. So instead of just asking or telling them that, hey, if you want more clarity on this, schedule a call with us. Instead of doing that, we kind of just switch it into something like, hey, if you buy this agency template, you get a 30-minute session with one of our team members who's going to break down the exact particular things for you. Like the way you kind of shift it. So yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
one
is
did
offer.
$1 million in 9 months, and the ad spends were close to like 700 to $800,000. That's the thing.
That's completely awesome. That's like step by step breakdown you mentioned, like from masterclass, 90-minute masterclass, then you give them the agency template, and from there you give a 30-minute of strategy call as a bonus, and in the call
Yeah,
itself you try to
try to
share with
close
them
the
the
deal on that.
strategy and about the high ticket product that is your coaching and all. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's insane. That's completely awesome. So just now you mentioned you invite the people on strategy call, and then you try to close them for your high ticket product. So you have any strategy to asking them a right question in a strategy calls, like how you are understanding your goals, and then you are telling about your product, or what kind of methods you are following in the strategy call of yours?
So, I mean, my responsibility in that project was to kind of, make this structure, the one that I kind of mentioned to you, right?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
funnel of it, and at the same time, write the copy for it, like, the entire funnel aspect of it. But my
Mhm.
clients, work was to pretty much get their sales guys on the strategy session and try to
Okay.
close them over there. So the only thing which we switched in the strategy session was a bit more like, instead of asking specific questions in the sense like, so how much revenue you're making, or what was your day like in X amount of period of time, or how much you did in this period of time, because that's what most people do, right? When you're trying to
Yeah.
qualify someone, or when you're trying to close somebody, you just go into the specifics part, right? So instead of doing that, we kept it open ended in the sense like, so what exactly is your problem? The wording kind of changed in that particular strategy session, because what I noticed is, when you let the other person talk, when the other person in that call, it was like, the students were coming in, right? Like, when you let them talk, when you kind of just let them express themselves, and at the same time just go into certain areas of it which usually doesn't get covered in a sales call, the closing ratio was much higher, okay? Because that way they feel more connected to you. And
Mhm.
that was our main idea behind those sessions as well, and it did really well,
Yeah.
given what everybody else was doing, and doing something which nobody was doing. So that was
Yeah,
the
that makes
good
sense.
thing.
That makes sense. Like doing something that nobody is doing and try that, whether it is working or not. Then if it is working, then we can good to go and make it sense, right? That's
Yeah,
super awesome. Great information that you just put in us. So you also created a system which is your P3 method that
yeah.
made it easy to get clients on demand, which is completely I'm hearing like on demand. Client on demand is something very different. I am hearing. So can you please throw more information like how someone can? What is the P3 by the way?
Yeah, so it actually kind of has two sides to it. Okay,
Hmm.
so that first method was kind of not invented. I guess everybody else was also doing it, but I kind of got the acronym for it.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much for my own funnel clients, because I just wanted to get a proper system nailed down, so that everybody, like, every individual is unique, right? Like, everybody has something which nobody else does, right? But how do you actually bring out that message, or how do you actually bring that out in front of the crowd? Because that's the main problem, which I see a lot of people struggle with, because they cannot express themselves properly, or they cannot resonate properly and just speak from the truer self, right? Like, if you do that, I mean, every sales call is pretty much a close, right? So what we did was, like, just in the copy itself, P3 pretty much stands for product, problem, product, and the positioning. Okay, so when you find a problem or in a certain specific area, then you kind of invite a product to it, or you see whether the product is going to do really well in that particular, for that particular problem and in that particular market, and then you kind of position it in a certain way which nobody else has done. I mean, that's itself is a winner. Because in my situation, when in 2020 everybody was doing webinars, okay, everybody was doing webinars, but at that point nobody was selling a $7 product, and nobody was selling a webinar, so the problem was, everybody in the agency space at least knew that a webinar, definitely they're going to get like a 10-20 minutes of value, but at the end it's just going to be a pitch. Okay, so the retention rates were really low and all, so that was the main problem, and everybody had a assumption that when you attend a webinar, you're going to get pitched something. Okay, so that was the problem in that particular market, or in that particular time. And the product was like, instead of just calling it a webinar, we can just have like a masterclass, which is like an extended version of a webinar, and then try to sell it for $7, because that product itself was like, nobody had enough information, because that point it was like information deficit. Okay, now everybody is sharing their journey, sharing content, and information is easily accessible. Okay, but at that point, like, pre internet marketing courses in India, because 2020 was like, that's when, like, people kind of got started in the course
Yeah.
industry. But
Yes.
yeah, like, at that point, like, nobody was selling information for like really really cheap, because all the courses were for like $97, $300, $500, $1,000. That was like the normal, so the product was $7. We give enough value, and the positioning was, instead of a webinar, it's going to be a masterclass. That was the unique method, I would say,
Yeah.
and that kind of did really well. So that's That's one thing from the funnel perspective. And from the client attraction side, the only thing I would say is like, if you find that everybody is doing something in a sense, like let's say everybody at one point, to get funnel design clients or to get agency clients, everybody does the same kind of content, right? Everybody does the same kind of posting. They would be talking about design, they would be talking about this, they would be talking about that. And I mean, among those posts, like, it's quite hard to stand out, because like this is what everybody is doing, right? So how do you actually stand out? In my case, what I did to kind of make the leap, because in 2020, 2021, I was at a situation where closing $2,000-3,000 deals were like, okay, that was the normal, but I wasn't able to break to the 7 grand or 5 grand or $10,000 clients. So how do I, and how was I able to do the positioning? Like, that was the biggest problem which I had to struggle with. So what I did in that particular time period was, instead of just talking about design work, I made sure that I started talking about results in the sense, like kind of case studies, talked about the different strategies and all, like something which is kind of different from everybody else. Okay, that's the big idea. And once I did that, instead of becoming like a funnel designer, I became a funnel strategist or a CRO expert who knew how to kind of, you know, get results pretty much. Instead of just becoming like anybody else, I was like someone who knew how to get results pretty much, because I had data to back it up. And
Yeah.
that's what kind of led to clients on demand part pretty much. So,
And that's completely awesome. That's great, amazing. So you mentioned like at starting $2,000-3,000 is you are able to make easily, but to make 5,000, 10,000, it is something you are not able to making it possible. So how did you make it possible after? What is the one thing that you change in your business, like if I can say about your in your mindset or in your journey, that actually help you to make 5,000, 10,000, your initial 5,000, 10,000. Right now you are making more than that, I know.
yeah.
So how did
I
you make
mean,
it?
it's per client. Yeah, I was talking about per client. Okay, so the only shift which actually happened was the value equation, in the sense, like in 2020, when I was getting started, the early days, I didn't understand what this funnel can do. Okay, for example, if somebody is offering to build a funnel, mostly they don't understand what that funnel can do for this person's business. Okay, but the
Yeah.
moment it became quite clear to me that this funnel that I'm building for a $7,000 coaching program, if he gets like two coaching clients every single month, and he is able to get those type of clients for 6 months. Okay, so in total he got like 12 clients, right? So that particular funnel which I built for him pretty much bought in extra $80,000 or $90,000 for him, right? So at that point I started questioning myself, that instead of just charging like $2,000 and making him $76,000, why don't I charge $7,000 and make him $76,000? Okay, because that way I was able to kind of change my mindset, because yeah, it was a bit more like a mindset game, because most people just fumble. Like, you cannot coach somebody and be like, hey man, just pay me $10,000 for this project. Like, you'll be scared yourself. So that was the mindset shift. And the other one which really helped me out was basically my clients results. Like, the clients were making money and they started referring people to me, and once more referral came from the successful clients, I mean, it was always an easy close. So that's what kind of played a big role, I would say.
Yeah, that's the mic drop idea thing that you shared with us right now, because
Yeah,
it's all about mindset shift and then the client result. That's
yeah,
the whole game. That's where you are
yeah,
actually able to make your 5 figure, 6 figure, and whatsoever number you have in your mind, right?
yeah.
Amazing. So you are also helping agency owners to get consistent clients and how to bring a clients. We need a great offer to bring a great client. We need a great offer. And how does an agency owner craft an offer in such a way that isn't irresistible? So if we take one situation, just take an example of that. There is a one digital marketer who is giving a service to a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
whole digital marketing service such as a website designing, Facebook ads, funnels, Google ads, something. So how he craft a offer in a such a way that he able doctor is can't deny that I don't want to refuse this offer. I want to grab this offer. How they do
Hmm.
it? Yes.
I mean, if you guys are mostly serving local clients in the sense like brick and mortar people like doctors, chiropractors, or normal service providers, spas and all of those, right? The only thing you guys need to understand is initially, like, nobody is gonna pay you more than at least 1,000 or $2,000, okay? Because what happens is, if you want to go to the mass market, in the sense like, instead of just closing one or two doctors every 2-3 months, if you want to close like 5-6 doctors or even 10 doctors a month, you need to have an offer which kind of serves the lower segment of it. Lower segment in the sense like something like $200, $300, like any kind of low ticket offer in that mark. Why? Because like, once you actually get their trust, in the sense like, once you are able to provide enough value or some kind of traction to them, okay? Because no doctor is going to be like, hey, I paid you $200, where is the results for me, because they also understand the marketing language, where if you are paying $200, the only thing that they would be expecting is, instead of seeing like 5 patients, they might be seeing 6 patients. That itself is like a success of your marketing effort. So if you
Mhm.
can do that, if you can find a system for yourself and kind of craft an offer which kind of is a bit low ticket and doesn't have much to lose for the client, that way you'll be able to go to the mass market. And yeah, I mean, once you do that, it's quite easy to upsell those type of people, because doctors are always way richer than any course creator or coaches that you
Yeah.
might be speaking with, right? So once they see some kind of traction, I mean, definitely, bro, like, if you are helping him get in one single extra patient, that itself is worth like 1,500 or $2,000 to him, right? So I mean, definitely he would be willing to pay more and kind of upgrade the leads or upgrade the appointments that you'd be getting. So that's the big idea of it, because you need to see what how the market is kind of shifting direction, in a sense like, if everybody is kind of trying to get a doctor appointments for like $100 or $200 or something like that, you can just come up with a ads package where you'll be charging $300 as a setup fee, and then the first 10 appointments you'll be giving for free, or first 10 appointments will be for free, or the doctor just needs to spend $100 for the first 3 appointments. But after the first 10 appointments, you just tell the doctor that, hey, for every next appointment that you'll be getting, it's going to cost you $50. Something like that. That way, like, you can just keep on having a high retention customer for your agency, especially. So
Yes,
that's the
yes.
big idea.
Yeah, it's a really big idea. Actually, the reason asking this question because everybody is talking course, coach, consultant. So I thought let's go with
Yeah.
some different example, right? Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
superb, superb. So before coming on the show, on this stage, when you mentioned like you are on interview after quite a long time, and I also
Yeah.
scroll through your internet, social media, your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, your LinkedIn. There is no consistency of content. Like you are not
Yeah.
publishing too much content. So how do you getting the customers? One you mentioned is referral marketing, that is you have your clients and all. So is there any other ways as well you are using to get new clients for your business at the moment?
So what usually happens with us is, like, every quarter, like Q1, Q2, Q3, in those period. For every quarter, the first 20 days is pure outreach. Okay, so like the
uh,
first of Jan to first 20, like till 20th of Jan, it's just like outreach, and we have like quite some ghost profiles, like some one-on-one lead gen kind of profiles, which does the mass outreach. They're like appointment setters who kind of just get the outreach and all. That's the Yeah, man, that's how we kind of fill up for at least 1 or 2 months, pretty much. So that's what we do. And yeah, the other thing which and also one more thing, that does not bring in most of the revenue. Okay, so when you do some kind of cold outreach and all, it's usually gonna be like 1,500 or $2,000 at max. Like, per client would be willing to spend that much money, because it's an outreach. It's like they don't know you, or they don't trust you, and those kind of factor. So usually we have a $1,000 package where we kind of do their design and all. We kind of help them up the conversions and all of it. And after that part is done, we just kind of try to upsell them on the, higher ticket offer. So in terms of acquiring new customer, that's the model that, I've been following, which is like, you do the design part, you get the conversions up and running to, at least 2-3% increase in the conversion. When they see some kind of positive response, now you need to understand the time frame. Okay, so in Jan, you acquire customers the first first 30 days, 20 days, whatever. You get the funnel done, you get the conversions up and running and increasing in the first week of Feb, because that's the point when they see the results coming in, right? Now you have about 10-15 people who have seen a positive response or positive return on the amount of money they have spent. Okay, so now Feb is going to be the month where we'll be upselling them on the 3 grand offer, which is like, we can help you repackage your entire copy, revamp your entire website funnel, whatever. So that's another kind of, revenue coming in from the existing customers itself. So that's how we have modeled. So instead of just focusing on one-off projects where, it's like you do the project and it's kind of done, the customer is kind of lost. We take them from a lower point and then we upsell them on a 3 grand or a 5 grand package, and we just kind of keep the cash flow coming in. So that's what we do.
That's the complete behind the scene you share how you are actually getting clients without publishing a lot of content. That's
Yeah, I
really
mean, at one point, like, okay, so content is supposed to be sharing or talking about yourself. It's supposed to be something which you do for fun. Okay, I mean, for me, at least, I believe, okay, I'm not saying that it's bad and all. Even I'll be posting content when, I'll be launching something, or, I'll be kind of coming up with a different agency or something like that, because that's really essential. But, for the funnel side of it, like, I don't feel like posting more content because, you know, yeah, I mean, the perceived value just kind of reduces, right? Like when they see more of me, it means that you are easily accessible, and when you are easily accessible, it also means that, okay, so you can be an option among all these different people, right? Like they would be comparing you with other people, and also, yeah, that's another kind of mind trick I play pretty much to just not
yeah,
be comparing with other people. So yeah,
yeah, that's
that's the part of
amazing.
it.
That's a really
Yeah.
great, insane thing you share. Super. So, what kind of things you do on daily basis to keep in the momentum, like to generating leads? As you mentioned, you are generating leads in the first quarter itself, like first 20 days. So what else things you do on daily basis that keeps you like, yeah, I need to do something?
I mean, right now, like my values have kind of changed, like, because when you are getting started, you have the motivation to make more money. You have the josh to hit 10K a month. You have the motivation to cross 100 grand a year or something like that. Like that's your initial driving force, right? But after a certain point, like things kind of change in a sense, like you explore other things. Okay, because I'm also 22, so right now, like my goals and perspective or daily day-to-day actions are more centered towards simple things, like creating something, in a sense, like doing some kind of graphic design, doing some kind of action which helps me refresh my creative creative muscle in my brain, basically. So that's the only thing which I do on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, the remaining part of the day pretty much goes into delivery part of the client, and that's how my day is kind of summed up. But yeah, bro, like when I was getting started, most of my days would usually begin with writing a post. Okay, so I'd be sitting down to write a piece of content, then posting it on different groups, and uske baad just talking with people, DMing people, just kind of getting to know them, just trying to see whether I can help them in some way or the other, giving value and doing strategy call. Like that's how you need to start. Okay, so yeah,
I totally understand because this is something that I also did 2 years ago when I started out. So yes, I
yeah.
understand this. So super, Shashank, really amazing information that you shared with us. Really bulb on ideas and really detailed. That is, I think, didn't share so many things. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing and coming on the show. So where do people
Yeah,
can
man.
find?
I mean, just drop me a message on Facebook if you want to chat, or, if there's something you want to know, because I usually check my messenger once in a while. I'd be happy to speak.
That's super awesome. So before we close the show, any three advice from you to new entrepreneurs, new online internet marketers?
Just don't overthink, because things are really simple. At least nowadays, I mean, it's just stupid simple. Okay, I mean, information is everywhere. If you just decide to stop, just binging content, binging in a sense, like just mindlessly scrolling and shit, and if you just say that, okay, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna watch some informational content, I'm just gonna watch something which is good for my brain. So that's the direction you need to focus on. And the other advice is, don't overthink, because overthinking is like 90% of your mental capacity. Okay, that's what, like, 90%. I mean, I would say everybody does that initially, because everybody is concerned about how they are gonna speak, because most Indians, they're not quite proficient with their English. So the English is the first mental block which they have. And yeah, bro, the third advice is, like, just do the work. Okay, if you just tell yourself that, I'm gonna make not X amount of money, but I'm gonna just work 3 hours a day every day for like 100 days, and see whether I'll able to be successful or not. You will be successful if you do that for 100 days, and you'll be able to make X amount of money, whatever. So that's the only three advice I would say, because yeah, man, like, starting out pretty much boils down to those things. Like, overthinking kind of kills a lot of people. Mindless scrolling kind of just is like mental masturbation. And the third one is, like, just not doing the work, because people feel that when they read a book they are kind of working, or they are growing their mindset and all. I mean, that's not how it works. So you just need to get to work.
Yeah, that's
That's what I
so
would say.
true. That's so true. Like recently, I also attend the event. I'm not sure you watch stories or not, but in that event, Anik Singhal was there, and he mentioned "Kuch karo," then you are
Yeah.
going to achieve it. So you have to put in work, and then you are able to make it possible. Kuch karo,
Yeah. Yeah, I
काम करो.
mean, things are super simple, bro. Like, everything is super, super simple, because I also had a course in 2020 called Clientsville, where, I was kind of just teaching people how to get clients and all. What I noticed was, the ones who were kind of sharing the screenshot, or the ones who were kind of showcasing their winnings and all, are the ones who have actually completed the course. And at the same time, are the ones who have constantly been bombarding my inbox. They're just asking questions about all these different things. Now, why they were able to ask those questions was because they were able to do this thing, and they kind of found stuck in it, and they need some clarity on it. Okay. But then there's this 70% of those students who paid me 8,000 rupee INR, who just didn't even bother kind of going through the course. So, that's how people think, because most of the time, when you just buy something or want to start something, it just kind of is a thought in the back of your mind. You don't really do any kind of action to it. Okay. So that's how the industry is. And yeah, man, just kind of get to work. That's what I'd say.
That's true. So that's it from us. Thank you so much, Shashanka, for sharing lots of golden nuggets to my audience, and really grateful for your precious time to be on the show. Thank you so much, and we'll join you in another episode on the Entrepreneurs Warrior Show. Till then, Elysian signing off.